Hello guys, today's video is the This or That colouring tag created by Michaela Renee on YouTube. The channels I mentioned I will pop down below. I was very kindly tagged by the lovely Dani Buttons on YouTube and the wonderful Lucy Just Adds Colour here on YouTube, and they will both also be down below so you can check their channels out. The This or That tag is basically answering which you prefer of two items, and there's 23 questions, so I'll get a move on with it. For this one, I thought we will continue the page I've been working on in the Dream World book by Corlon Douglas or Black River Arts, and we're doing the Bunny and Flowers page. You may already have seen part 1 to this if you watch my channel, and I just thought I'll continue colouring the bits that I'd shown in that one, so that then hopefully I will very soon be able to film part 2 of this. So question 1 of the This or That tag is whether you prefer, I'm sorry, someone knocked at the door, the dogs go mad, ignore the noise for a moment, whether you prefer alcohol or water-based markers, and it's definitely alcohol. I don't use markers too often because I do prefer pencil, but I do like to do colour by number kind of in between other projects, and I like, you know, the Sun Life drawing, one colour arts and things like that, and obviously because the alcohol markers don't streak, I do prefer to use those over other markers, and I have a few sets now that I've collected. I've got the Oh Hoo Hoo and the Touch New and the Lemmershare, and that I rather like, and I use them quite a lot, especially in the Jade Summer Grayscale. So relaxing to just do a quick page of those in marker and create something really cute and fun without quite as much fuss as some of the other pages that we do. Question 2 is whether you prefer Jade Summer Grayscale or Jade Summer line art. It's definitely grayscale. I think I've only ever had one of their line art. It was the first one I got, it was Chibi Horror, because they didn't have all these grayscale versions out when I first saw that one, so I grabbed that, and I hadn't coloured in it a whole lot, to be honest. I like the pictures, but once I saw the grayscales I like them so much more. I find them so relaxing and so much fun just to very quickly get a really easy shadowed, shaded, highlighted piece just from popping a one colour marker down. That they are my go-to relax pages, and they make brilliant buddy colours because I'm a slow colourer. It is what it is. I'm slow, it takes me forever. Because I can do those quicker, it means, you know, it's a bit, I feel a bit nicer about buddy colouring with people and not making them wait ages for me, because I can just get that done at some point and then leave it on the side ready for when, you know, the people that I'm colouring with are also ready, and then no side feels any pressure with them because each one of you is just done whenever you're done. And it also means that sometimes when someone goes, oh, I'm all done, I'll share, and you're like, oh my god, I haven't started, you're not then like a couple of weeks trying to sort out a quick buddy colour, so there's no pressure to them. So yeah, it's definitely the grayscale. And I am a fan of grayscale, to be honest, as I'm sure from this you can tell. Right, question number 3 is whether you prefer Prismacolor or Polychromos pencils. And this essentially comes down to a wax or an oil pencil question. I like oil pencils the best, and I therefore prefer Polychromos. The thing is, I do like, these are the black Widow pencils. I love these pencils. They are beautiful on certain papers, and the colours are lovely, and they're quicker. You can do these nice grayscale pages quite quickly with this kind of pencil. So there's a time and a place for both, and I'm quite new to the Prismacolor. I'm still kind of getting the hang of the way they work. They're so soft, you have to adjust every time you change your pencil to the new kind of pencil that it is. So because I'm a big fan of the oil pencils and the way they slowly layer and colour, that kind of suits my very slow plod along style, I guess. I really like them. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're expensive, so this should be the better one, really. Very, very expensive. But they are really lovely pencils, and I do like working with them. Strange though, isn't it? Because I like the Brute Pruner as well. And the thing is, there's a time and a place for each one. And the Brute Pruner cost about, I think you get 180 set now for about £30 in the UK. Crazy. And the Crayon are also quickly becoming one of my go-to pick-up pencils as well. So, number 4, Hannah Coulson or Maria Troll. Well, Maria Troll I found first, and she is definitely my preferred of the two, mainly because I found her first, so I've actually coloured some of her pages. I've only very, very recently started to pick up the Hannah Coulson books because I didn't really fancy the artwork before. But then the more I've seen of them coloured and the more people's pages I've been shown, I have started to grab her books. And I must admit, I think I suppose your taste and the way you colour changes over time anyway. But I am quickly becoming very, very enamoured with the Hannah Coulson books as well. But then Luna came out and just blew everything else out of the water for me. That is a remarkably beautiful book that I'm so glad I managed to get a hold of. Definitely one of my favourites. I love it. I don't think there's a single page in that book that I don't want to colour, which is unusual in itself. It's not really how it normally works. So yeah, Maria Troll, she came first. It may change over time, but it's definitely the way it stands at the moment. So, question number 5 is, do you prefer colour by number or non-colour by number? The projects I pick are non-colour by number. And even sometimes kind of the Sun Life drawings, I'll pick the one colour books over the colour by numbers. But sometimes when you just want to sit and relax and do something a little bit different, I do really enjoy the Colour Questopia colour by numbers, and the Sun Life. It's the stained glass, isn't it? Stained glass colour by numbers and their mosaics. And of course, I absolutely love the Belba family square, the 3x3 colour by number books. But yeah, my normal, I consider those like in between pictures for my projects as such. So actual preferred pages would be a non-colour by number, you know, something more like this. That kind of my wind down pages, because these take me ages. So question number 6 is whether you prefer mandalas or patterns. Now at first I didn't like mandalas at all. Just wasn't a fan. Struggled really. And I had a couple of mandala books. I'm not sure which ones I got first, but just didn't really fancy them, to be honest. And then I grabbed a Camellia Angel Cova, and I really like her mandala books. But I've also watched Lisa's Colouring Corner for a while now, and she likes a lot of pattern books, so through her channel I've found a lot of different patterns, and she's a big fan of the David Hinkin Jr. pattern books. So I grabbed one of those, and she really likes the Angie Grace books, which she does patterns and mandalas. So I grabbed one of each, and I must admit I love her pattern book. It's a little square book and they have borders, so you're not colouring right off to the edge of the page, and I really like the patterns. I think I have volume number 14, and I really enjoy that one. I've done about 4 or 5 pages in it, and yeah, I'm glad I picked it up. So I'm going with patterns, because if there were, you know, when the 2 books were in front of me, I do pick a pattern book up first, every time, to be honest. So 7, double or single-sided books. I'm going to assume that means kind of the one-sided pages. So it depends. Are we allowed to say it? It depends, I suppose. I'm not really bothered in a normal book with pencils, it wouldn't matter. But if you're using, you know, pages that I'd put a marker base down like I have this, or, you know, the colour by number or the Sun Life, single-sided is better. And to be honest, in this Amazon paper as well, because it's thin paper and you're pressing with your pencils, it's probably also better that these are single-sided, and they do tend to be, probably for that reason, that you go through the, you know, print to the other side of the page rather easily. So maybe I prefer single-sided. But in like a Joanna Basford book, or, you know, something with nice paper that I'm going to work in pencil, I don't mind at all. But I suppose if you have to pick, I would go for single-sided for those ones where it does really matter. Right, that was a long... I'm waffling a bit, aren't I? Let's see if we can do these a bit quicker for you. Question number 8 is single or double page spreads? Single. There's no question to it. Stuff takes me so long to start with, and I do sometimes get a little bit fed up about halfway through. Not always, but you know, if you've seen my whips video, you know they're all there. And so when I'm starting a page, single-sided is just much less intimidating, because I'm much more likely to finish some point in my lifetime without it going on forever. I'd love to do some double page spreads, but I know it would definitely be a large scale project for me to do so, and therefore I'm not sure if I've actually done any. I must have done one. I've been colouring for a good 10 months now, I think. 9 or 10 months now. So I must have done one, but they're definitely not my preferred. Question number 9 is Ohuhu or Cali Art markers, alcohol markers. Well, you'll know from the list of markers that I told you I have the Ohuhu, but not the Cali Art. So because I've never used them or tried them, and I like my Ohuhu markers, I will have to go with that as my answer. So it's the Ohuhu markers, which I like because they've got a smaller nib on them, and I found that they do bleed less on this paper. Whether it's because of that, I'm not sure. It's hard work for larger spaces because it's a smaller nib, but when you're doing smaller pieces, they're quite nice. Question number 10. Colour by number white or black backgrounds. I like the black. I'm not sure whether by this you mean kind of the black back or a black background on the page, but for me both are the same question anyway. I like the black backing because you don't get any messy look of the markers, and I like the black backgrounds because it really makes your marker colours pop off your page, especially those kind of Sun Life stencil books and things like that. But if it means the mosaic books where they've started doing them with black lines instead of clear, for those I like them clear. I like to fill them in myself. I think I've covered every eventuality of what that question means. So moving on. Question number 11. White Posca pen or white jelly roll or gel pen? I have both and I like both, but usually I find for ease, I always seem to pick up my gel pen. It tends to be my Uniball Signo white that I lean towards. I would like to try the Ortiza white gel pens, but they're always out of stock at the moment. So I have the Sakura and I have a Uniball, and they tend to be the one that I automatically reach for. It's always a black Posca that I prefer, but in white it seems to be these gel pen. And of course I really like to use white ink or white pencil a lot of the time as well, but yeah, out of the two I grab my white gel pen. Question number 12. Morning colouring or night colouring? Just because I work 5 days a week anyway, I have 2 dogs who require you to be up very early and walk them and feed them and play with them for a while, so it tends to be later in the day that I do most of my colouring, just kind of naturally really. I get a couple of hours to myself usually later in the day that I use for whichever hobby I'm working on, because I am a gamer, so I do that as well, but I'll usually colour later on when it's nice and quiet and peaceful, and generally the dogs are asleep is when you get the most chance. They're like children, aren't they? It's controlled by my 2 dogs is my life and schedule, to be honest. Right, so question number 13. Jade Summer Chibi Girls or April Amber Chibi Girls? I don't own an April Amber book and I haven't owned one, so they always look very pretty, but I haven't coloured them, whereas I've done a lot of the Jade Summer, so I will have to pick Jade Summer for that one. Let's see now. Question number 14. Alec Robert or Emily Lydhall Orberg? Alan Robert it's going to have to be, because I do actually have his Beauty of Horror 4, which is a fabulous book. I haven't actually coloured in it like so many of the books I own, because I like to buy them and then don't actually have that many hands. But I have seen the Emily Orberg books and they do look very nice, but I don't actually have any at this present time. So I'm trying to think whether I have her fairy tale or not. I don't think I do. So it'll have to be Alan Robert. It has to be the one I have and enjoy. And that is The Beauty of Horror book. They're not usually the kind of... I like gothic and kind of dark fantasy, but he's not usually the kind of gory thing that I would colour, but for some reason I do really like, probably because I'm a massive movie buff, and so it really appealed to me on that kind of nostalgia level. But I do really like his book. Question number 15. Having double images in books or only one copy of each? I'm not actually sure there. That's quite a good question. Because I always feel like, kind of with the Hannah Lynn books and things like that, because you have that other copy, you don't feel as stressful colouring. Like, because, you know, worst case scenario, you have another one. So it's nice to have it. But on the other hand, I won't colour most of the pages I own once. So I'm definitely not for kind of going and colouring the same pages again. So maybe still just having that spare option is quite comforting. So I'm going to go with having the extra page, I guess. Because it doesn't really do any harm to have it, I don't think. Oh, these questions. She's not messing around. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. For now. For now. Question number 16. Oh, it's evil, this. Joanna Basford or Kirby Rosanas? Well, I own every single Kirby Rosanas book. He's done. Every single one. I have the next one, the new one, on pre-order. And I love them. And I don't colour in them. I don't think I've ever finished a Kirby page. And I have all of the Joanna Basford books except for Lost Ocean, and I have both of her two new ones on pre-order, both The Worlds of Wonder, and she's done like little miniature versions of Secret Garden and Enchanted Forest, which when I got the mini version of Secret Garden I was a bit like, meh. I don't get it. It's just a little one. I'm not gonna do anything in it. And then the more I've had it and thought, oh, that'll be a nice quick little page to do, I'm gonna grab that. The more I'm seeing the light with it. So then I added the other one to my pre-order as well. Because I'm terrible. So, going to have to go with Joanna Basford, just because I don't love her more, but I actually colour the pages. basically. This is not behaving, this one. It's not as clear. We'll have to see. Might have to take a bit out of it afterwards. Might do that now. It'll only bug me otherwise. Let's try that bit again. A little bit differently. Make things defined a little bit better. Better. Right, so question number 17. Pastel or acrylic backgrounds? Ooh, I suppose each one has its place. I think it's less nerve-wracking to do a pastel background, so I think that's probably the choice I'm going to go with. I am finding the more I colour, the more I head for the acrylics. So I think it just comes with a bit more experience and confidence. But for the moment, I will have to go with the soft pastel. I've not tried pan pastels, which I would like to. So I know they're kind of the best version, but I've always quite enjoyed the Munoz that I have, so I'll go with that. Sorry guys, you know what I'm like, I can't do two things at once. I can't colour at the same time. Right, so question number 18. Hannah Lynn or Jasmine Beckett Griffith? Yikes. The Jasmine Beckett Griffith books are beautiful. I think I have all but her Alice book now and a couple of her art books. And I am a big fan. And again, I don't know what it is. I can't decide whether it's because they're a bit harder to get and the paper's nicer that they intimidate me more, and I haven't coloured in them. And the Hannah Lynn books I absolutely love, and I've been definitely noticing that I'm collecting them, grabbing them as I see them, and collecting up quite a handful of them. And I've actually coloured in some of them. So I suppose we're going to have to go with Hannah Lynn, because I think when you're all done, it's the ones you actually colour in that count. The ones you use, the ones you lay something down on the pages. So Hannah Lynn it is. Okay, question number 19 is a strange one. Whether you prefer ordering from Amazon or Etsy. The only time I order on Etsy is when you cannot get the book from Amazon. So I think that answers that I prefer Amazon. I like the idea of Etsy. I love supporting the artists, but the delivery on Etsy books, which are already, the books themselves are always the nicer books on nicer paper, so they're more expensive, and then when you add delivery onto that, it's crazy. I know you can get more PDFs on Etsy, but for some reason I always buy books. I'm not particularly sure why, but I like to have a book. I don't know if that's because I'm a reader or not, that physical book in my hand. I'm a bit of a physical collector though, because I'm the same with games. Like, I'm a gamer and I collect physical editions of things and movies and games and books, so obviously I like to fill my house up with crap. So I always get the books, so it has to be Amazon. I just created this paler tone in the background in a different set of colours because I wanted them to look like they're behind everything else and that the colour has faded and washed away. And I'm hoping that's what it actually looks like. So, question number 20 is whether you prefer glitter gel pens or stickles. I have one bottle of the diamond stickles and it is lovely. I love it. It's fab. In the UK, we tend to end up with Dovecraft more, which is pretty similar from what I've seen to the stickles, and I love that as well. They're really nice. And yet, I always reach for a glitter gel pen. They're cleaner, they're less messy, you don't get air in things when you drop it doesn't overdrop, they're just easier to use, and you get such big packs of them. They come in different colours. I like to do my one-line art things with them, and quite like doing mandalas and things with them, so glitter gel pen, it's got to be that. Although I do love both. 21, hardback or soft cover. That's the age-old question, isn't it? It's easier to colour in a softback sometimes, and yet we all love the hardback books. They look so beautiful on your shelf. They look beautiful sat on the table. They come with these beautiful drawings on the front, usually in gold leaf with their gold spines and their fabric bindings. So hardcover every time, really. I have mine on their own shelf, all separate and nice, like you do. Question number 22. Simple pages or intricate pages? From the pages that I've noticed, I tend to colour probably intricate pages. Seem to be just what I gravitate towards. I suppose it depends, because that's kind of perception of it, isn't it? Because what might be quite intricate to me might be simple to someone else, but I think I prefer a lot more detail on the pages without finding it to be off-putting. And then the last question, number 23, is whether you prefer Christmas pages or Halloween pages. I've gone through both of my first seasons of those now, so I can actually answer this question. And I didn't do a lot of Christmas pages. I don't know whether it's because it just didn't feel very Christmassy this year. So I didn't really get all wrapped up in the hype of it. But I do really enjoy the Halloween books I have. So I'm going to have to pick Halloween pages, because I do a lot more of them. And Rosie has got the hashtag this year. I always forget what things are called. She's doing Colouring Spooky 2021, that's it. And it's Rosie Crafted Colours. Her channel's fab. She does beautiful pages. And I'm really enjoying that colour along. She's doing it all year, thank goodness, because obviously otherwise I'd hardly get to put anything into it. I'm too slow. But I'm definitely enjoying those kind of gothic, darker pages over the warmer Christmas tone, because Dani Buttons is doing a Christmas version of a colouring tag, so we've got both ends, which is fabulous. And she's doing Jolly Colouring 2021, which is where you can colour Christmas pages all year. So you've got both your options covered there, guys. So do join in the colour alongs, because they're fabulous. But I've got a book picked out for it with a whip, and I just haven't quite found the will to fancy doing it yet. So we will see. I'm sure that will change as the year goes on, because I definitely want to join Dani's colour along as well. So yeah, I hope you found these answers either slightly useful or slightly interesting at least. I'm really pleased to have done the tag, so thank you, Michaela, for creating it. It's nice to have something to chat about while I do these colour alongs, because you guys know I struggle with the kind of colour and chat version of colouring. And it was so lovely to be tagged by not one but two people, which is quite good for me because I'm quite a small channel and not that well known really by people. So it's nice to be tagged by others. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it. I will see you very soon in the next one, probably part 2 of this page where we do the other bits and pieces to it. And thank you for watching, guys.